My dear fellow Filipinos and my beloved Cebuanos, may the love, mercy, compassion, and peace of God be with us all. I am John Davide, retired Chief Justice of our Supreme Court. I am now 86 years old enough to know the history of our country and our people, old enough by the grace of God to have dedicated and devoted 41 years of my 86 years in the faithful and selfless service to our country and our people in the different elective and appointed positions in the three branches of our government, the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary, and in two bodies that framed our Constitution, the 1971 Constitutional Convention, which framed the 1973 Constitution, and the 1986 Constitutional Commission, which framed our present 1987 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines. Old enough to know the problems of our country and of the disastrous consequences of wrong choices of leaders who denied our country from becoming truly great and our people from enjoying true happiness, joy, and peace. 13 years, 5 months, and 4 days of these 86 years of my life. This is from September 21, 1972 to February 25, 1986, or the EDSA People Power Revolution, were spent during the ugliest, most difficult years in the history of our country and our people since after the end of the Second World War in 1945. These 13 years, 5 months, and 4 days were the years of martial law declared by then President Ferdinand Marcos. These were years of unparalleled injustice, oppression, gross and open violation of human rights and of our constitutional rights and the rule of law, poverty, massive corruption, cronyism, and many more other iniquities and evils. I shall talk more on this most unfortunate chapter of our history of our country and our people after I shall have shown you that, truly, in comparison with the other candidates for president, our Vice President LENI Robredo alone deserves to be elected president. The martial law years experience will have presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos in the limelight. I understand that many of our youth are for Marcos. I will show them that that would be the most tragic decision they will ever make as hopes of our motherland. This coming May 9, 2022, our voters will flock to the polls to elect a new president, vice president, senators, representatives, and local elective officials. The May 9, 2022 elections would be the best opportunity for voters to reflect on the problems of our country and the conditions of our people, and to elect only the best and the most qualified candidates who could truly serve as servant leaders and fulfill the mandate of the Constitution that a public office is a public trust, and all government officials and employees must at all times serve with the utmost responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency, and act with patriotism and justice, and lead modest lives. That is Section 1 of Article 11 of our Constitution. Thus, we have to pray hard to God for divine guidance that our voters will cast their votes only for the best and the most qualified among the candidates. With you today, I shall take up the candidates for president. On my own, as an 86-year-old Filipino who has nothing in mind and heart except the best interest of our country and our people I have no one else for whom I shall vote for president. And I fervently pray that you too will. Let us vote for and elect Vice President LENI Robredo. She is the best and the most qualified among the 5 aspirants for president to be elected and to serve as president for 6 years, from noon of June 2022 to noon of June 30, 2028. She alone among the candidates for president has presented a program of government that would lift us from years of stagnation and decay because of corruption and poor governance and accountability. Added to this is the pandemic with all its hardships. She alone possesses spiritual, intellectual, ethical, moral, and social values, virtues, and principles that guarantee the fulfillment of our hopes, aspirations, and dreams of a truly great Philippines and a truly God-fearing, God-loving, God-serving, happy, and prosperous people. For me, LENI is heaven sent. God's love is even built into her name. These are all what every letter in her name means. L for living, E for embodiment or example, N for nobility, and I for integrity. Yes, she is LENI, the living example or embodiment of nobility and integrity. And in Robredo, these are the values ingrained in its letter. R, radiance of grace of closeness to God. O, obsession to serve others. B, beacon of love, truth and justice. R, reflection of great courage. E, exemplary advocate of accountability in government service. D, devoted to country, people, and humanity. O, oppressors and corruptors' supreme enemy. It is also part of God's plan that in our century we will have 3 greatest women of our country and of our race. First, we have Hidalin Diaz, the first Filipino Olympic gold medalist. Next, we have Maria Ressa, the first Nobel Peace Prize awardee. And third, no other than LENI Robredo, the President of the Republic of the Philippines for 6 years, from noon of June 30, 2022 up to noon of June 30, 2028. Yes, these 3 great women are God's special gifts to our people, our country, and our race. Yes, only LENI alone for president and no one else. Thank you, dear God of life and love, God of history and humanity, for giving us LENI. Why not Bongbong Marcos or any of the other candidates for president? Wait for my next episode. God bless the Philippines. God bless all of us.
Sa bayan ko ay isa ang lahi, dito'y wala ang pagkukunwari. Hindi padagaig, sadyang kilala sa daigdig, may pagkakaisa sa bawat nais. Ang bayan ko'y punong-puno ng yaman, bakit ito'y kailangan pang iwanan? Hindi nga ba't anong sarap mabuhay ng buong ganap? Sa bayan mo, sumapit man yaong wakas, dito sa sa bayan ko, lahat kami pantay-pantay. Walang nang aapit, ang pag-ibig ay tunay. Dito sa bayan ko, dito'y makikilala mo ang isang kaibigang nagmamahal sa'yo. Ang bayan ko'y punong-puno ng yaman. Bakit ito'y kailangan pang iwanan? Hindi nga ba't anong sarap mabuhay ng buong ganap? Sa bayan mo, sumapit ng yaong wakas. Dito sa bayan ko, lahat kami pantay-pantay. Walang nang aapit, ang pag-ibig ay tunay. Dito sa bayan ko, dito'y makikilala mo ang mga kaibigang nagmamahal sa'yo. Dito sa bayan ko,